Azimio chief Raila Odinga appears to be losing his political grip amid an onslaught by President William Ruto. Is Raila Odinga done and out, or will he fight back? That is our question today on yet another informative and insightful edition of Siasa Brigade, your go-to show on matters governance and politics at large here in Kenya and around our neighboring states, East African community, you name it. We are here to give you the most comprehensive coverage with regards to that particular subject. I'm yours truly, Richard Mwenja. Truly delighted to have you on board yet again. And with me on this conversation is none other than Kenya's most sought after political analyst, the son of Kega County and the biggest expert from that region, Herman Manyora. Great to see you, sir.
Great, how are you?
You've always said you are the biggest expert after Mudavadi.
I've never said that. You can't be after Mudavadi. I'm ahead of those people.
You've never
It depends on how you judge. How do you make judgment? Do you want to judge somebody by the billions they have, or by where they stay, or by what office they occupy in the land, or by their abilities? It depends. Choose.
We were in Luombe village a few weeks ago, and only a handful of villagers know you.
That's important. To be known by a handful is important. Blessing enough from God.
There to say you are ahead of Musalia Mudavadi.
It depends on what you mean by ahead or behind.
Very well.
Musalia Mudavadi is our leader.
Uh-huh.
Don't play with him.
A big man there.
He's a big man. He's our leader.
He might get you into government, though. You need to.
He's our son. I don't want to enter government.
You don't want?
No.
You need the millions for retirement.
For what? I'm okay. The way I am, I'm okay. Who tells you I need millions?
You've seen the finance bill is to be signed into law, and they are in a provision that may make you really go deeper into your pocket. You need the millions.
No problem. We will face it. We've faced bigger challenges in our lives.
Before?
Yeah.
All right. We wait to see. So we are talking about Azimio chief Raila Odinga, and in the recent developments in the political landscape, we've seen a number of his lieutenants decamp and join the Kenya Kwanza administration, not really party-wise, but also in supporting the bills and the interest of Kenya Kwanza administration. And it begs the question, now that the finance bill is to be set into law and we saw a landslide win from the side of Kenya Kwanza, would you say that there's probably gonna be the same trend, Raila Odinga losing lieutenants now and then?
You know, when you are not in power in Kenya, people will tend to go away from you to where power is, where money is, where ugali is. You know, so it's normal. We are used to that. It's normal. If Raila was to give up merely because a few people have left him, he would have left the political scene long time ago. You remember the Pentagon broke up. Everybody left him. By 2013, he didn't have almost any one of them. Balala was not there. Gilu was not there. Mudavadi was not there. William Ruto was not there. That was the entire Pentagon. Jeremiah Nyaga was not there. That was the entire Pentagon. But he soldiered on. He brought in Papa Waroma, he brought in Kalonzo, and the court gave Jubilee or TNA a run for their money. In 2017, there was further hemorrhage. Fortunately, he brought back Mudavadi with the NASA. And you saw the election was nullified. Uhuru's election was nullified, meaning they gave Uhuru a run for their money. Last time, again, we saw people leave. Mudavadi left, Wetangula left. But did Ruto just walk into State House because Raila was weakened? There was a struggle for power. There was a struggle to go to State House. Even if you were to believe elections were free and fair.
Fair, credible.
Ruto merely scrapped it through with a 200,000 vote margin, with each of them touching the 7 million mark. So,
very well.
Yeah.
Let's advance this conversation. We've seen his lieutenants decamp to the other side, and many of them supporting the Kenya Kwanza administration. You've talked of Raila being a master of reinventing himself. Even when he went to the street with the mass protest, the fire was actually brought down before it could really sparkle into a huge blaze. Right now, he has lost a considerable number of lieutenants. Would you say there's also wiggle room for him to reinvent himself further, or he's probably now writing his political obituary?
I have always said this. From as early as 2013, when Raila lost, or if you wish, lost the election, many of the people who interviewed me, locally, internationally, wanted me to feed into their narrative, just to give it credence, just to confirm that Raila was finished. I told them, I will be hesitant to write off Raila.
Is not over and out?
Yeah, I will be hesitant myself.
Uh-huh.
You can write off Raila at your own peril. Yeah. Raila is not a man you write off. Yes. But you see, Raila is mortal, he's a human being. And he could decide he has played his role. And like Shakespeare said, the world is a big stage. You come in and go off.
And you exit when the cheer is loud.
Yeah, yeah. So if he chooses to exit the stage, but if Raila chooses to fight, I think he still has some fight in him. Raila is still strong physically.
Still has that lethal card?
He's mentally alert. Not many young people, however educated, can take on Raila in a debate. I sit with Raila, I know he's an intelligent man. Raila can be a good president. Raila can still run in 2027. Other factors considered. So writing off Raila this early, Joe Biden just the other day, they said he's running for second term next year.
When many thought age is catching up with him.
And you cannot compare Biden to Raila by any stretch of imagination. By any stretch of imagination. Not age-wise, not alertness, not...
Intellect capacity, think tank.
Biden is not a fool. He's an intellectual powerhouse. But you see, we are human beings and there are certain limitations. And they can begin to show. Yeah.
To tame Raila Odinga, we have seen the Kenya Kwanza administration field a number of its top lieutenants, Kimani Ichung'wah, Ndindi Nyoro, Sylvanus Osoro, and they have been dishing out counter-attacks on Raila Odinga. And many people believe that there's been a huge success therein because it has somewhat reduced the shade of Raila Odinga. Would you say if that counter-attacks, attack dog thing is going to continue into the near future, Raila could somewhat be brought to a shadow of former self?
You cannot use Kimani Ichung'wah and Raila in the same sentence. How can you talk of Raila Odinga and then introduce Ndindi Nyoro? Please.
Come on.
Do you live in this country? If you wanted somebody to attack Raila or to do sparring with Raila, it can't be Kimani Ichung'wah. Those ones you live to John Mbadi and Babu Wino.
The same people brought the dynasty down.
Which dynasty? There is no dynasty that went down.
Hustler ndiye anatawala.
Where is Hustler? Forget about it. I understand enough history. I understand enough politics. In 2002, I told people, you are chasing shadows. A trap has been set for you by Moi and the dynasties and the system.
The real owners are...
Yes, this Kibaki is a product of Moi. It's a creation of Moi. And your real president is one Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Has he done his 2 terms?
Yes.
So anybody thinking the dynasty is out. If the dynasty was out, I want to ask you a question. I know you don't know a lot. What is the one thing this government has done to the dynasties? One. Just one. Apart from stealing a few goats. Doba.
And attacking Mama
which were returned. What is there anything? This currency note. I want to show you. This currency note.
Herman.
This currency note. Against the Constitution of Kenya, bears the image of Jomo Kenyatta. Check. What image is that?
Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, founding father.
If they cannot remove this alone...
I will hand it over back to you after the show. Let's continue, sir.
If they cannot deal with that alone, we said we had removed Moi. Even the smallest Nyayo, none of them, Nyayo Stadium, Nyayo what, Moi International Sports Center, hey, Moi this, ata moja hawajaguza.
Moi University.
Everything Moi. You will not touch these dynasties. We were told within, I don't know, 30 days or something, or 3 months, of coming to office, we shall set up a commission to deal with state capture. Have they set it?
It is yet to see the light of day.
This is a passing cloud. And that's how systems work. Nobody can defeat a system. Nobody has ever defeated a system. Systems are crushed. Systems are
crushed.
In a revolution.
Not by hustler nation.
You bring a system down by crashing it in a revolution. No system can be defeated.
You hit it on the head.
Yes. You can't defeat a system. There's nobody. Dynasties are they're in control of everything. What has changed in this country to show you that the dynasties are not in control? The same billionaires are running this country. The same banks we were made to believe were fleecing people through Fuliza. Are they not still doing it?
It's not all about...
Mention one thing the hustler government has done to show you they are dealing with dynasties. One. I want one, as you return my note, that has Kenyatta's image against the provision of the Constitution.
It is not all about Gideon Moi being silent or Uhuru Kenyatta.
No, these are the people who rule you tomorrow. In the fullness of time. If it's not Gideon, it will be Uhuru Kenyatta's son. You don't defeat a system.
You crash
what the systems do sometimes, they see, we allow these fools one victory, one battle. You get it? Because there's the dialectics they must deal with. That it's no longer sustainable for us to continue behaving in a certain... That's the narrative Uhuru Kenyatta was bringing. Because the dynasties are mainly Kalenjin and Kikuyu.
Kikuyus, yeah.
What Uhuru was bringing is to break that a bit, to allow an outsider like Raila Odinga to come in.
And cool the water.
Once he gets out, you continue with the dynasty for another 100 years. So the dynasty can check. They look at the mood in the country and say, if you stop Ruto, you will have a lot of trouble to deal with for a long time. It is easier you allow him to be president and then you get rid of him and then you continue. That's how systems work.
No.
Across the world, not Kenya. Across the world, you don't defeat a system. Systems are broken and crushed through a revolution.
It's not about dishing out statistics.
No, they are the same people running, they are the same controlling the economy. They are controlling the banks. They are controlling education. They are controlling everything. They are in banking, they are in insurance, they are everything, hospitality. How can you defeat them? Ukikuja kidogo kupiga kelele wanakuchotea chai kidogo, unakuambia kijana kaa huko kunywa chai. Kaa huko.
A lineup has already been
take from outside. So these boys can make noise, but they even know. They even know they can't touch Kenyatta. They know they can't touch Kenyatta. They can't touch Gideon. They can't touch dynasties. You can't.
You can.
You cannot. That's the day you'll know you are just temporal leadership.
Every stray dog has its honor.
Oh yes, then you can't touch them. They are still firmly in control. Firmly in control. And in fact, in my lifetime, and you can see I'm an old man.
Sure, yeah.
You will see them taking the oath of office of president. 10, 15, even 5 years. You see them when I know a Biblia. Jomo Kenyatta, anaitwa nani yo kijana mdogo?
Mkoko Kenya.
Anaitwa
Jabba and all.
Jabba Kenyatta. Napa. What? In my lifetime.
In your lifetime.
That's how systems work.
A lineup has already been drawn of a Ndindi Nyoro president.
Which one? They can never. Which presidents? Which one?
Then Kipchumba Murkomen.
Even people tried, after Kenyatta, after Kibaki, Mudavadi, they were told, shut up. Even Kibaki was almost buying into the idea. Mudavadi, shut up.
Yeah. Papa wa Roma pale.
Shut up.
Go be a senator.
Hii kitu ni ya wenyewe, ya dynasty. Ya system. Uhuru Kenyatta, sit, anakaa. People, what? It began after the struggle of the 2008-2007. When Mother Karua was the only man standing to defend Kibaki.
Only man standing. All right.
And then they formed government, coalition government, Usumukate. All of us expected Mother Karua would be one of the deputy prime ministers. Kando Uhuru Kenyatta. You can't. Systems are never beaten. Never. You cannot go into a contest and defeat a system. They may give you a semblance of victory. You go celebrating you have won.
It's a mirage.
But they will come back and take that which is theirs and continue with it.
Very well.
And that explains why nobody would have allowed Raila to be president in 2007. It was too late. The votes were already there. The cup was in the stadium.
Yeah.
Raila na captain alikuwa anakuja kuchukua kikombe, wakachukua wakabeba wakaenda naye wakapelekea Kibaki
From the pavilion.
in the evening. Yes. That's how bad it can go. Because if you gave Raila the president that time, you distort everything. The arrangement of the system is distorted completely. So you stop it at whatever cost. Let Kibaki finish. Na line ya dynasty inaendelea.
Very well.
So Ruto atafanya tu hapa. Kama anafikiri atakuwa succeeded na nini Nyoro.
Yeah.
You are joking.
And Kipchumba.
Oh,
More comment.
These are boys who just go home to look after cows. And if they have made some little money, they may enjoy it. But not power. Power they will not test.
They haven't crushed Gideon Moi.
You can't. This is Gideon Moi is enjoying everything he has. Why haven't even repossessed one or two things from what he has? Some of them very obvious. You don't defeat a system in a contest. Even in an organization, a company, you cannot come with ideas in a company and think you can overhaul that company.
The owners of
the owners, the system with a structure. You can only defeat a system by crushing it. And that's why systems always go down in a revolution. Not in peaceful contests. You cannot.
in an uprising.
Something serious that disturbs the status quo. Then the system can
Crash.
changing
the status quo.
But they are so entrenched, you'll find them coming back. Even then.
And repossessing what's theirs.
Look at global trends and you'll agree with me. Even Marcus, he came back. Philippines, you would have thought he would come back.
Very well, there you have it from the public scholar himself, and of course a globetrotter, knowing so much about the global status and how it will affect you personally as a taxpayer, as a leader in this country, and also as a human at the end of the day. That is Herman Manyora for you, and it is even more reasons for you to keep tuned in to a subsequent edition of Business Glide and this particular show, Siasa Brigade, nuggets of wisdom on matters economics, politics, you name it. You've got it all covered here. 360 coverage, comprehensive analysis. I'm yours truly, Richard Mwanja. Such a pleasure to have you on board. Do tune in to our next edition that will be coming up on your screen. Until then, God bless.